The boy suddenly noticed that this strange man kept staring at his mother, and his mother did not seem bothered by it at all. There was even a shy smile on her face. Then the man jumped down from his bunk, carefully squeezing past his mother, trying not to brush against her chest. Sonia had a feeling that something was going on between them. But then a commotion broke out at the other end of the train car. Someone's wallet had been stolen. Sonia wanted to go see what was happening, but his mother was about to go with the man, and she did not want him tagging along. Sonia cried and threw a fit. Seeing this, the man picked Sonia up, placed him on his own bunk, then put a military cap on his head. He even told Sonia to keep an eye on his pistol. The honorable mission immediately made Sonia behave himself. Then the man took his mother and walked through the train car. In the crowded space, their accidental touches spoke volumes. That night, not even the icy winds of Siberia could cool the passion between them. After they got off the train, the man named Tolyan became Sonia's new father. At that time, the Soviet Union was still struggling in the aftermath of World War II. Life was extremely difficult for ordinary people. Tolyan and Sonia's mother searched all over the city before finding an affordable apartment, but they had no money. So Tolyan used his military status as a guarantee and asked the landlady to give them a few extra days. In those days, soldiers were unquestioned figures of authority. The landlady agreed. That night, Sonia woke up from a dream. Then he heard some strange noises. It sounded like his mother was crying. Frightened, he covered his face, but the sounds only grew louder. He became so scared that he fell off the chair. His mother quickly picked him up and comforted him gently. Meanwhile, Tolyan looked annoyed that his good time had been interrupted. Sonia quietly asked his mother. Worried that Tolyan might hurt her, Sonia insisted on sleeping in the bed. Naturally, Tolyan refused. When Sonia would not let it go, he lost his temper. He opened the window and threatened him. If he did not behave, he would throw him outside. Sonia immediately backed down and obediently returned to the chair to sleep. During this period, his mother was completely immersed in the sweetness of love. Years earlier, her husband had died in the war shortly after she became pregnant. Now she felt fortunate to finally have someone to rely on. But Sonia was not happy. Ever since Tolyan arrived, his mother no longer cared for him the way she used to. Whenever he saw them being affectionate again, he wanted to join them, but they only saw him as a nuisance, filled with embarrassment and frustration. Sonia hugged his mother's leg, trying to take her back, but she coldly sent him out of the room. Depressed, Sonia wandered around outside, but before long he was bullied by a group of kids. Crying, he ran home. But Tolyan told him to fight back. A few minutes later, a heavy-set man called for Tolyan. He said Sonia had hit his son, and that Tolyan should discipline him. Tolyan came downstairs, walked up to the man and called him an idiot. The sight made Sonia back away nervously. But then Tolyan knocked the man down with a punch and stomped his bicycle to pieces. After that, he took Sonia by the hand and found the kids who had bullied him earlier. Like an ordinary father, Tolyan helped Sonia get justice. After returning home, Tolyan told Sonia to bring him a belt. Terrified, Sonia thought he was about to get a severe beating. But then he heard Tolyan say, Sonia let out a sigh of relief and instantly felt grateful. Tolyan showed off his strong muscles and told Sonia to squeeze them as hard as he could, saying they were a symbol of strength. Curious, Sonia touched Tolyan's back and discovered a tiger tattoo there. Tolyan said he got it to make people afraid of him. He also told Sonia that only violence could make people listen. Sonia was stunned. He was too young to understand Tolyan's philosophy of survival. But then he noticed the tattoo on Tolyan's chest.
Stalin, а его зачем?
Отец он мне.
Sonia believed him. After all, it was the image of a great figure admired by everyone, and Tolyan claimed to be his son. At that moment, Sonia could not help but admire Tolyan. A few days later, Tolyan appeared before a female neighbor, carrying a box of chocolates. His charm and gentlemanly manners captivated several women. He said he wanted to treat everyone to dinner. While speaking, he casually wrapped an arm around the actress's shoulders. At the dinner table, Tolyan thanked the neighbors for their kindness. Then he pulled out several circus tickets and invited everyone to go together that weekend. Everyone was pleasantly surprised and liked Tolyan even more. Halfway through the meal, the actress suddenly complained, "Why has none of the men at this table invited me?" Picking up on the hint, Tolyan immediately stood up and invited her. Soon the two were dancing together to the cheerful music. The actress proudly said she had a performance that day and could not attend the circus, but Tolyan openly asked what time she would be home that evening. Sitting nearby, Sonia's mother clearly saw the flirtation between them. On the day of the circus, everyone came except the actress. Partway through the show, Sonia's mother noticed Tolyan quietly slipping away. Feeling uneasy, she took Sonia and returned home. She told Sonia to wait outside, then went upstairs alone. Her trembling hand opened the door, Inside, it was dark and unusually quiet. She walked straight to the actress's apartment, and sure enough, Tolian was there. Her heart shattered, but Tolian showed no panic at being caught. He was too busy packing up valuable items. Only then did she realize the truth. The man she depended on was actually a thief. She begged Tolian to stop.
Прошу тебя.
Кать, я тебя люблю. Пацана прокормим. Вставай, а то поезд, ну.
Even though she knew Tolian was no good, she had already lost herself in love. In the end, she still boarded the train with Sonia. That night, after getting on the train, Sonia excitedly explored every corner. Meanwhile, Tolian was in a great mood, very satisfied with what he had stolen. When Sonia's mother opened a suitcase, she found the blouse that had belonged to the actress. Tolian told her to sell it the next day. She refused and even made an insulting gesture at him. Afterward, Tolian brought them to another city. As usual, he rented a place using his military status. And after gaining everyone's trust, he used the same circus trick to empty out their homes. Sonia and his mother followed Tolian from one city to another. The collapse of her romance and the instability of their lives crushed her spirit. She laughed and cried without caring what anyone thought. A few days later, they arrived in a new city. After leaving the station, Tolian spotted two police officers in the distance. And the officers also noticed Tolian in his military uniform. Tolian told Sonia and his mother to go ahead, while he avoided the authorities by following the train tracks. The mother and son waited outside for a long time. Several hours later, Tolian finally managed to get away. They found a luxury apartment building. Holding Sonia in his arms, Tolian knocked on the door. A wealthy woman answered. After hearing his explanation, she said there were no apartments available for rent, but there was an empty room in the basement. In the end, the three of them rented a dark and damp basement room. Sonia's mother spent her days depressed.
Страшно мне, Толя.
She asked Tolian if he had not promised to turn over a new leaf. Why was he still continuing? Tolian became irritated. Just then, Sonia noticed that a part had fallen out of Tolian's pistol.
Вот она, дядь Толян!
Я сказал, называй меня папкой, ну.
When his mother grabbed Tolian, he shoved her to the ground. Seeing his mother hurt, Sonia instinctively picked up a small knife. But looking at the beast-like strength of Tolian, he was terrified.
Знаешь закон толковища? Не доставай нож, а достал бей. А не то я ударю.
Then Sonia realized with embarrassment that he had wet his pants. Crying, he ran into the bathroom and wrung out his pants. The blow to his pride made him start fantasizing. If only he had a real father, then someone would come and save him. But at that moment, Tolian knocked on the door. He asked if Sonia was okay. After Sonia finally calmed down, Tolian took him to a bathhouse. Thinking about what had happened earlier, Sonia felt a little embarrassed. Tolian comforted him by saying that everyone has been scared enough to wet their pants at some point, and that it was nothing to be ashamed of. He said he had once been beaten so badly that he urinated blood for 3 days, and still survived.
Можешь хоть 100 раз опасаться, но победи, понял?
But just as they left the bathhouse, they ran into the police. The officers asked to see their identification.